What is he doing?
Teaching you the importance of linear perspective.
When he's off camera, he just T-poses. That's literally... Yeah.
I'm vibing. We're hanging out. I think coming off of that complexity game, it's going to be hard to meet, man. The excitement of that one. I'll give it to G2 to, I think, uptick the excitement factor in this. I think Maui Snake's speaking very well about Flit and Fame. Like, if anybody's going to get active, those are the two I'm looking for. And I hope that VP don't just sit back on their hands, because I don't think G2 will. So, see ya, Sam. Bye, Dust. Howdy, Maui. Let's get into this one.
Howdy, Mowdy.
G2 versus Virtus.pro. VP on Dust2 Mo. I think they'll be excited that this gets to come through in the map pool, regardless of how good G2 are at it. Virtus.pro, well, they like these outings. So let's see what they can offer us today. I think we've seen some rough games versus FURIA, but I don't blame Virtus.pro for that. I blame FURIA. They brought out the worst of VP. Clock got played down to, time was expiring all too often. You know, it just didn't look very inspiring. VP this time, allow for them to get up catwalk. Into the elbow fight goes MongolZ. A lot of bodies here for Virtus.pro, but still all four of them stand. 5 G2 members. Backs turn to Goose. And that's Flawless with the double kill. That's all he's going to find. It's a kill apiece for 3 players at the G2 camp looking to keep their heads down to get off of the bomb site. Fame arrives on the ramp. His teammate's dead, and he is as well. G2 cut through that defense with ease, and it's a pistol for G2. Classic.
Yeah, man, they're great at pistols. I think that that coming into this game, just wanted to see if the aim was good, because their aim has clearly been getting a lot better, and I love the underscoring of Heavy God and his performance, because he's just been amazing, to be honest. So, I mean, VP have certainly earned their place here, but in this matchup, with the way that G2 are scaling up in this final run with this lineup as it stands, they're definitely looking like contenders for the entire event. Won't be an easy match here for Virtus.pro.
Winner of this game goes on to face Complexity in a semifinal tomorrow. FaZe Clan and Falcons, your other semifinalists for PGL Bucharest 25. USP dink for MongolZ to have to stomach. A lot of bodies yet again, but all that does is fills the feed full of Virtus.pro on the receiving end of death. It is G2 to convert it easily.
Snacks got every single one of those kills, and it was just Modesty stealing them.
You know, in Snacks' mind, he did get them all.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I'm sick.
Yeah. I mean, I was in Snacks' mind for a second, and I thought I got all those kills.
It's tough when you're Snacks. You know, you're surrounded by the players that you are. It's hard to find kills, man.
Like, you have to be faster than Modesty. Great.
Yeah, I feel like that's the challenge of this entire community.
Yeah. Yeah, tier 1 at large is literally like learning how to be faster than Modesty.
And honestly, Modesty's op lately, dude, some of the flicks we've been seeing with him, it almost feels to me like he's hitting a new height with what is possible with an op in CS2.
Yeah.
You know, the new way that the op functioned when the game came out, it definitely, I mean, we've seen operas never recover. Cadian still doesn't have a positive rating in the Astralis jersey, for the record. And then we've seen guys like Torji who kind of stepped it up a level. Modesty's showing us what highlights look like with an op in CS2. But right now we've got Electronic blanketed in smoke, hanging onto this bomb site. G2 have kept the attack simple, 3 rounds in a row. They arrive with little resistance. But there's that dink from Long, gets Hunter's head on a swivel. And that doesn't look too good. Now suddenly they've stalled out, and the bomb is in the backdrop, not even able to plant if they wanted.
The smoke should do the rest of the job here. How are you going to scale past this? Once it comes up as well, it's only going to get more difficult. As the bomb goes back to clear the flank, there's no one there. MongolZ's taking some damage, but he actually gets a kill, and it looks like he might be working on another. Heavy God joins in.
Oh,
no way!
Snacks, baby, through the smoke, off Goose, double kill, roasts Virtus.pro on the ramp.
Oh, they just had to wait. I mean, I thought that just became more and more favored towards Virtus.pro with the positions that they had.
3v5.
Uh-oh. But also, very impressive, G2. Very impressive. Yeah.
Snacks on the attack, 4-0 start. He is the best performing player on G2 at the moment. Soak that up while you can.
The top 3 in the world, so competitive. Like they're like, even with Zywoo getting better as well, MongolZ had his best year last year and was like a hair off of top 1. It was damn near 3-way tie, if not for Shanghai. And, you know, to think, I mean, with those players as good as they continue to be, there's a chance that MongolZ never gets top 1. There's a chance that MongolZ got top 1 last year and could do it back-to-back years. It's actually the closest race that we've had. It's a blessing to have that in CS2, because the closest that's ever been before was back in 2018 between Nico, Device, and Simple, and it felt like that was the the peak of competition individually. We were never gonna beat that, and now we've got 3 players that aren't even there in the top 3.
For anybody who's joined this community with CS2, it's like, you don't know how lucky you've got it. Your first year.
Yeah.
And it is as tight as it is.
I made so much content just kind of like highlighting how amazing that is. Like, so new stories, younger players that are in the first half of their careers that will continue to get better.
Good hold, Fame. There we go.
Oh, nice.
Taking initiatives, right? Not just sitting back, but boosted up in the cat box. Not a position you see played too often, so I think understandable that it catches them off guard. And the beauty of it is that's the only M4, right? That's the saved rifle of the last round.
You like to see Fame in spots like that because it's not played because it's hard to fall off. If you lose your fight, you die. You don't just unpeak. And Fame at his best is an amazing aimer. He should be used in riskier spots like that, I think, for sure. A great one.
Well, his M4 now down to 30 health. They heard it burning as well. And he's only got pistol players to try to support it on the bomb site. Another 3v5 being pieced together here because it is just pistols elsewhere.
Wow, this team.
They find their chance in, but you can't help but look at the health that's left. Hunter and MongolZ barely standing. You know Heavy God would be good for the clutch. Nade could kill 2, but it'll find Hunter instead. Electronic given a chance to go for this clutch if he chooses to. He has picked up a gun from lower tunnels.
You wish he doesn't have a kit. There's no smoke now.
Heavy God on the site. MongolZ goes deep over towards long. That'll be an easy fallback to the site. Electronic just needs a fast kill to Heavy God, who could go ahead and just dodge the threat by keeping his head down. Will do so. Virtus.pro unable to, off of a 5v3, convert this one again. Yeah. Although, to be fair, 5v3, 1 gun.
Yeah, that's true.
The fact they established that is a good sign for Virtus.pro, regardless of a 4th round loss.
Yeah, it's only 1 gun, but honestly, I would definitely like to look at the stats on converted rounds for situations like that, because I would always rather be the team with 5 players, even if it's only 1 gun. G2's entry power is just so impressive every single time.
You're dead. Ah. Swing and a miss. You know? Can't win them all.
Yeah, but just try to win 1.
I'm a gambling man.
Hey, you said you quit gambling.
Well,
he said, I hate quitters. Yeah.
Oh. It's Fame again. Headshots galore coming out of that A1S. Back-to-back 2Ks and back-to-back vacant bomb sites. G2 able to just cut right through it. Hunter doesn't know if that smoke's actually empty or not. The bomb will have to come through. That's a little bit sketchy. Fire on the close wall. Top mid player lets this cross from CT go down. I mean, Heavy God is so far removed from the situation that there could suddenly be unexpected pressure of a retake.
Yeah, if they're gonna go quickly.
You know, Virtus.pro thinking about knocking on the door. Now Icy gets clipped by Heavy God, so maybe a little late to the party, but still perfect timing elsewhere. Hunter takes the fight on his terms. So you've got MongolZ 7-1, Heavy God 5-0, Hunter multi-frags, and the only thing we've seen out of VP is Fame.
Man, we're getting G2 playing this well without Nico. Nico and Falcons getting to semifinals, the best result in some time. And Complexity and FaZe, who both had terrible starts to the year, looking extremely good here in playoffs.
Mohan.
It's kind of incredible.
Sometimes breakups are a good thing. Everybody's exes here are thriving.
Everybody's winning, man. It's crazy.
Well, you know, except for GamerLegion, 3D Max Aurora, and the loser.
Well, maybe they should have made some roster moves. I mean, screw honeymoons, man. Like, there is like...
yeah, tell your fiance that.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that one was good. But I always remember the heroic one with Jabby. You know, how good they got over time. And,
True.
And they committed to sticking with him to get there.
And that was looking very bleak for some time.
So bleak. Last place at Cologne in their first event. Like, you know. It is hard to be patient in CS when there are so many players just are good right away, teams that are good right away, and examples like Vitality within this year that are like, all right, well, we're the best instantly. But for the most part, you know, good things take time. Oh, not a great spot for Flawless.
Ahead of the smoke.
You know exactly where he threw that nade
Electronics
from.
also in a tough place, right? Standing on the ledge.
I mean, the smoke, yeah.
Heavy
like
God won't die.
Flawless throws that smoke on the impression, like hoping that they're way back on long, but that pretty much gives the round away when they see it get thrown.
This is a weird round just because Hunter gets all the way out mid like that, so he actually ends up dying to an AWP in B. Right? And, like, Virtus.pro gets scared off of the A site in the meantime, so...
But that does show you how little control the map Virtus.pro had that even got there. Like,
True.
They didn't know what was going on at long. They saw nothing at mid until that moment. G2 are just like, well, how far can we go?
Having to walk away.
It turns into a save because of that.
Yeah, Flick kind of rolled his eyes just now as he had to walk up middle, save the guns, let the 6th round in a row go the way of G2. Heavy God still yet to die.
We already got a 13-0 here in playoffs today.
Best map of FaZe's year.
It's amazing.
Speaking about teams where, you know, honeymoons aren't really there.
Yeah.
And that's a roster with sky-high expectations.
It honestly feels like it's the event where they actually stopped believing, and then it became good. They kind of hit rock bottom mentally, and I guess just started to play free. Things just started to click. Like you said, you mentioned it, and you were ready to believe in FaZe, and you were like, when are they gonna, you know, do you believe that they could click? Well, it looks like they have.
Can't care too much, can't care too little. There's some kind of balance out there in the universe. Had a few tribes finding it here in Bucharest. Flash for Flawless, but he doesn't actually full swing. Man, the money that G2 have racked up as well, like, I'm not saying Virtus.pro aren't going to win any rounds, but this is never going to be an easy half from here on out. They will not find refuge in anti-ecos anytime soon.
I just realized that considering the blessing of poor honeymoons and what this event has shown us, that Liquid are on pace to win the major.
That's some grade A copium. We'll give them time. They're still on the lookout for a coach. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's why Liquid's taken 6 years. Eventually. Heavy God down to 20 seconds, folks. G2 playing with that dangerous thing called time.
3v5.
And they're going to try to get
always win these.
through the catwalk again. Where have I seen this episode? Hunter gets pelted by utility. Third one's the charm. You play with the clock, you pay the cost. That's Virtus.pro's strength, folks. Solid long hold. Triple grenade from CT spawn. They banked on the bomb going down to win this. Wrong.
Yeah, it's usually Virtus.pro who play rounds down that long without making a decision on where to split. But they stay confident on that double long A setup, and it's the right one. So good to get on the board. All those saves paid off. Fame takes some damage through the smoke, and Electronic goes down instantly. Oh! I was just saying the other day that peek almost never nets you a kill, but MongolZ will do it. Blind and partially through the door.
What did you make of the electronic snap at his teammate the other day?
I think it was at Flawless.
It was Icy who planted on the wrong
Icy.
side of sight.
Yeah, I mean, if that was a comm, then yeah, you should get yelled at, I think. But that's...
I think he was a little mean.
It kind of depends on the the scale of how obvious the the mistake is to like how important the round is.
Right.
And then yeah, because like it's a pattern of a guy not listening or like missing things, then you can't win rounds. You just can't. You'll lose for the dumbest reasons, and no one who's watching will know why. So I'm definitely all for it.
It's a rare treat as well. I feel like we'd only usually get the English comms at the end of rounds and in between. Well, I'd really not want to be Fame. He's had multi-kills in his back pocket, but he's got a whole pack of G2 players swarming him, and he eats flashes the entire time. A freebie.
And no one comes in the window at all.
Virtus.pro out position. 3 players over on that A site don't get action, but with the amount of times we've seen them commit up catwalk, this mid to B comes unexpectedly.
And I just want to say that we make all sorts of judgments about players and things like that without being fully engrossed in the current meta of Tier 1 and all the details of the game, but more than that, without knowing any of the communication. And so I feel when we make these judgments, we're privy to like 60% of the information and maybe another 10% from confirming things through things like voice comms and whatever. But as a pro, when you're thinking about your teammates, like everybody knows what it's like to have a teammate that doesn't communicate properly and how much that sacks rounds for your team. That's something that most of us, even players thinking about players on other teams, they don't know. You only know about your teammates on your team, and you sometimes hear about it later. But communication is such a massive part about the game. It like literally wins tournaments. I mean, even like think about like someone like Stewie, who's never been a top stats performer, and the amount of trophies that he's won. And then some of the dialogue around it from other teammates, the ideas that he has, all the leadership that he takes.
Great yapper.
Great yapper, exactly. Oh, okay, 2 back actually. So technically,
nice push.
3v5 for a second. Ooh.
Oh, 2 missed op shots for MongolZ, but he's got teammates to support him. We go man advantage here for Virtus.pro. The double ops on the field. Fame swinging with his, but Icy connects. Second kill of the round from the long hold to the cat hold. And MongolZ down to 1 bullet, needs a reload on that op. Pressure soon to be on both ends. I don't think he sees this tunnel player coming. He's kind of floating around here confidently, climbing up. Oh, no way.
He looked.
Oh. When you see MongolZ turn back, you think he's got him, but Fame able to get that shot off finally. Virtus.pro a second round by way of double op.
Yes, yeah, they crushed it right here. I mean, full force down mid. And that's a very fast finish here for Virtus.pro before any decisions have been made. Nice one from Icy. Icy so far has been, I think he's had a pretty solid showing throughout each of these series. I think the only thing about him is his impact isn't that great unless his team is doing well. MongolZ, another hit through the door. This time the full kill on Fame. Poor guy has just been taking op shots on the cross constantly, but sometimes you got to swing high, sometimes you go low.
Flit has to pick up the op as well, but then decides to chuck it back down to the ground, so they're going to go doubled up defense, 2 per site. Icy's op still on his angle.
And it's more rare that you go for long right away after that. Full swing on long.
Yeah, with the mid kill, 5 go long.
With the mid kill, yeah.
Maybe it'll be hard to read if you're Virtus.pro.
Hard to read.
Like books. Oh, the timing of the...
Yeah, like...
Why I gotta stay scoped in at the right moments. Tough one to swallow here for Icy. Flawless gonna get flashed in through the smoke. Heavy God blind stuffs the AK to his head. Just snaps him out of it.
I don't even think he was close to looking at him. He was just running and shooting.
Oh! Okay.
Well, there he wasn't.
Well,
damn.
If you see what he can do when he sees you, he's allowed to get away with whatever he can when he can't. Because when he can, it's great, and when he can't, it's still good.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Clean stuff from Heavy God.
Oh, well, they weren't playing anti. Could have been a multi for
guy
Promise.
owns on Dust2. We saw it back earlier this event, Heavy God. The time to kill on the Galil made me believe this was going to be a good week. That's how good it looked. If you don't know the exact round I'm talking about, I wouldn't blame you. It felt like a nothing burger, but it's had me convinced all week, dude. Heavy God is stepping up into the empty space that G2 needed to fill.
They're just going for the full B attack, and it's actually correct. FaZe has only got an MP9 and a flash here. Playing on the left side too. Not even the mid support. It's just Flit in lower that has to jump.
Poor guy. MP9 in hand. Icy comes over. Now the op's on the angle. That can help out. He tries to dive in through window. Volley of util comes out. Flit entry elsewhere. FaZe gets his and the dink. Icy still working with the window cover. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Goes wide.
There's the swing. Heavy God finally in. We've got two more defenders here behind the upper. Heavy God waits for you to try to peek that again. Welcomes you to try it. Molotov outside of the window. Heavy God 1v4 as Icy connects to MongolZ. And there's Flit. His multi-kill connects, and it's a Virtus.pro 3-round CT side at least.
Well, they did a first layer exec and wanted to bait out maybe a molly, some attention, and with FaZe's position, he couldn't throw nades because, well, then you know exactly where he's standing. So I think G2 got a little bit confused about why there was no reaction out of Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro were actually very thankful that they didn't go out on that first attempt, because that would have been a lot harder to hold. Even though Icy missed one shot there, he actually did a great job holding. Oh my, the double tag.
Dude. I feel like he's hit that shot every round. I haven't said it. Consistency from MongolZ. The damage output's huge. Flit to the top of middle though. Multi-kill last round, denied after one. Snax gets him back with the Galil. It is at the cost of Malbs. The Hunter climb up uncontested. Couple bodies floating towards mid doors here for Virtus.pro. Fire at Electronics' feet. Nade to open the smoke. Exposed, but not fully.
Oh, the NOA boost.
Oof, got lucky that MongolZ doesn't see them. And they're going to catch him off guard because of it. They disassemble the boost. We don't get that instant transition from Hunter into the cap pressure. There's also this Goose Guy to lock down sight. But VP biting down on the potential of an A commitment as Bomb starts to work its way up into the tunnels. Hunter shut down. Electronic has moved around this map this round, and it's paid off. 2 kills, both MongolZ and Hunter. Playing around the sides of smokes, he's collected them. Is Snax forced to come back because Heavy God got out long?
And Electronic goes hunting. You got to be careful, because no advantage has really meant that much here for Virtus.pro.
Nice.
Oh, man, and Icy's low and B alone, and plus they're walking out long. FaZe's peeling back. Heavy God, I don't think they even realize he's still here.
Smokes cross.
They can get back around.
You've got 2 CTs stuck. I mean, Snax, you gotta push through 2 CTs. No time to run. You gotta take this fight on your terms. Snax with a second. A little bit more damage on Fame. 10 seconds, not enough here for Heavy God, and Virtus.pro will know it. So, unfortunately, Bomb gets cut off in Cat. Fame delivers the kill. And it is Icy on 8 health to close out the half. 4 rounds for VP, 3 of them in the final 5. A little back and forth affair that opened the door for VP.
Thought that Snax was going to go long.
He could have ran it. Yeah.
Right away, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just hanging out.
Just chilling.
Then it would have looked pretty genius. Got the kill on Cat as well.
Both those headshots were crisp from Snax. I'm going to give him some credit. Even if there was no time to win the round.
There was no time to win the round.
Just a little credit for my guy Snax.
That was some great death matching.
Little appetizers. What's to come? G2 still. I mean, come on. 8-4 T-side Dust2.
Very clean.
Come on.
Yeah, they're showing us what they've been showing us. That's pretty solid Counter-Strike overall.
Yep. It's strong shots from MongolZ. I mean, the damage output he had through the mid doors.
That's crazy. He didn't even know about half the damage he did. Maybe he did.
Maybe he didn't.
Maybe he didn't.
Heavy God, meanwhile, another rock-solid Dust2 performance. 12 kills, 3 deaths. That smoke won't bother G2 whatsoever. No eyes on mid. 2 defenders inside the B site. Utility in hand here. Snacks. Smoke dropped on first contact. 1 Glock shot gets the smoke out at more than 1:30. Jesus, Flamus looks locked in. That crosshair's got the jitters.
Always love G2's pistol setups. Everyone's in a very active spot. Of course, B is just a touch weaker, so it's a good chance here for Virtus.pro.
Second smoke thrown out by Electronic.
I see nothing in mid. This is going to pull Hunter back. They got a timing as they push off of Cat now, so VP need to start moving.
Oh, insta-dinks. But then they still come out before the smoke pops. They give Hunter plenty of time to get a kill. Eventually, he'll land it. And then they start to cross doors as he contests with the window off the flash. Player in the background still has vision, so that's cover for the plants.
I'll have to rethink things here. G2 going up through tunnels.
Safe to say there was plenty of opportunity there for Hunter to kind of be the hero of holding back B. This looks like a locked-in post plant for Virtus.pro, but nothing's guaranteed.
Oh, they're pushing to the window.
They try to take it. The fight to Mobs. He doubles up. And then that Pat player, Icy's got it. Locked in. Him and a P250 and a pistol.
So good on pistols.
Zywoo-esque with that buy. More often than not, you find him with the upgraded pistol. Virtus.pro going to kick off a T side with a round win.
Bad. Not bad. And it'll be the Hunter Snacks combo in B, which definitely can be hit or miss. Here on the CT. We'll see if the Virtus.pro game plan leads this way. But Icy, man, is consistently good on these pistol rounds.
Let's see if he can replicate the impact that m0NESY had basically all half long. Felt like no cross.
m0NESY actually did like 600 or 700 damage through that door last half. I don't know how you match that. I'd love to know exactly how much that was.
Like 800. Like 900. Like 1,000 damage.
Not 1,000, man. 950.
951. No resistance here, middle. No resistance and no vision for G2. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. They did not anticipate that kind of timing, which seems crazy considering the smoke was down for as long as it was.
Yeah.
I feel like there would have been at least some sort of an alarm bell ringing. But alas, Electronic gets to make some money off the MAC-10. Third player at bats, Hunter's MP9. And just too many bodies with too good of weapons for him to stop it on his own. Fame will come through just to make sure everybody meets up smoothly. No further defense to manage. And G2's Desert Eagles can be kept for the next one. This was a force that didn't net them much. VP closing the gap now.
Hit it.
Why does he keep checking it? I know you're there.
Oh.
That's so ominous.
There's someone nearby. The milk is still sweating.
It's like a tricycle just rolling down the hallway. Red rum. What if Heavy God just came out and kicked it back?
And then just said hit again.
But instead, he saves the 5-7.
Oh,
that's why.
5-7.
It's a Deeg instead. And it hits hard.
Oh, baby.
They swapped, actually. They surely swapped. I swear he saved
just
the 5-7.
for that long spawn. Yeah, he had the banana skin.
Yeah, the banana 5-7. So Hunter took the 5-7, gives him a Deeg, and that's what you get.
That's a good teammate right there.
Wowza.
That's a delivery. On this map, oh, it gets scary.
They control the rifle at least.
Can he not find his gun?
No, I guess not.
Oh, okay.
The hell? Where'd it go? There's a scout behind him.
That was his.
All right, then rifle found.
Now the MongolZ dig. Oh, buddy.
Goes a little wide. And here's the thing, though. A kill like that starts to push Virtus.pro into a place where they're going to start playing with the clock. And you know what happens when VP play with the clock?
They lose to time.
Yes.
Maybe they've learned something.
So 40 seconds they take over mid control. This means that they still have ample time.
Electronic scouting sees nothing. Obviously, it's still always a risk no matter what.
They've got options. Electronics kind of caught out floating down here on his own. Bomb doubles back to the tunnels.
Yeah, now they're coming.
Hunter's 5-7 softened up. The kill over towards long goes well. There's no rifle to be picked up, and Hunter dies in the fire. Snacks only the USB. So he'll get slammed down on by Fame. Electronic holds mid-control, and Virtus.pro play with the clock, but play with still just enough time. The retake's on, though. Heavy God has found that scout since. Deeg still in hand. Misses his chance to strike down Flummus. That could have served up an issue for the hold.
Yeah, this was a great round from Electronic because otherwise they commit up CAD into 3 players. Obviously, you saw MongolZ get that first kill. But once he had spotted Hunter, had a good read on the setup and didn't see anybody playing close left, so called his team. I mean, that's a situation where it's like good use of the last seconds of the clock, where sometimes the rounds with them or with FURIA or whoever is like they're going for one idea. There's no actual adjustment to the idea, and then they still play it down to 10 seconds. And that's where mistakes and matches get lost. So it's a 1-round game, but there haven't been any true rifles just yet. So this will be the first test for G2.
Okay. Icy was looking hungry for first contact. Bomb still left in spawn, though, so VP wasn't the all-in out of the gate. The old tower hold. Timeless.
Oh, looks like they're going to get the round they're looking for.
Pistol or MAC-10 in the front.
They're kind of scared about this. Like, why were they so ready just now?
Yep. They don't like that.
Yeah.
At least able to get the grenade out of the defense. Snack still holds on to his belt of utility and the comfort of back plat on B.
I think it was quite clear exactly what Virtus.pro were trying to do with all their players just now.
MongolZ's on this angle, so Fame to approach with a Galil.
Surely they don't walk peek him here.
Shouldn't.
Oh, they do.
They try.
Wow, they just walked into that.
Oh, nade to the face of Flummus. That puts him on 2 health, so easy cleanup for Mulbs. He gives himself the alley-oop.
MongolZ was even expecting a flash to come out.
And then this off angle from Hunter, supported by the window if needed. And all of a sudden the utility trickles back down towards the exit of the tunnels, and there was nobody in position to get out. Virtus.pro,
you know, that
meticulously dismantled in this one.
Yeah,
Wonders.
yeah, I think so. It just wasn't like
Still trying.
Still trying. 25
right.
seconds.
Let's give it a shot. Flit at the tip of the spear versus Snacks. You've got Hunter locked into the car, down to 15 now. Flashbangs his own teammate. And Snacks just rattling off bullets enough to deter them, but there's no save guaranteed here with a player back in T-spawn. You better be careful here, Virtus.pro.
Yeah, this is a heavy flank.
Heavy God sitting in the same corner, though. Looks good. That smoke will prevent anybody from peeking out of tunnels.
Why did he always go to this corner? Could have, like, started the hunt to the save a lot sooner and not had to stay there, but...
Creature of habit.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the only thing about this round, it's fine to have like an all-in idea like that walk into B. Interesting to see G2 so well prepared for it, but when they went back to clearing out the rest of the map, I think they should have assumed G2 realized what they were trying to do, and there was no pressure over on Cat. They didn't pre-flash it. Even if they threw one from very far back, MongolZ could have reasonably got off the angle, but why wouldn't MongolZ be there? You know, late rounds at past a minute on long would have been weird. On cat bricks at a minute, that's actually pretty common. So I think they were kind of asking for something to go wrong like that. And then the setup continued to evolve for G2 in good ways, with Hunter playing outside the door. So just two great ideas in that round from the B players. And Icy's like, how'd they hit us every round? Like,
Yeah, right.
I can't see these guys at all.
Doesn't even try pulling the trigger. 5 players tunnels early. What's this tell you?
But it is kind of wild how often, like, VP never crossed low. They didn't give up and smoke the door for the cross. They didn't try anything.
The most they
Kept getting
do
hit.
is like change the timing and wait for a frag grenade.
Yeah.
And that did not seem to stop MongolZ from landing damage.
Yeah.
MongolZ still has this angle. It's not as safe as Flawless would want, but that'll confirm the ops position. There is no close rotate for G2 to get to this B site. Man, G2 still just a little bit more worried about this A half of the map.
Flash.
Flash in, perfect! Snax controls and just lays down lead for the double. Burned out of his corner, almost allowed to escape. Icy at least returns the favor with 1 kill, but they are met by smoke, and that takes all the wind out of the sails of VP.
Yeah, that's huge info. Perfect timing from Hunter and Snax. Again on B. They keep trying to test them, but G2 keep passing. And what are you going to do now? Go all the way back to long and see where they have to walk is because they haven't been defaulting, man. I mean, normally it's not a criticism about VP that they don't default. They're usually quite good about that, but well, no, it doesn't matter. 20 seconds, how are you going to take long? Bombs getting dropped. They're saving again. Again, not always bad to have a single idea that you want to just all in for on a round, but contingency plans definitely pay off. This is actually a G2 criticism I had, you know, for a while there. They find to be a team that likes contact plays or likes to do site execs. No problem with that, but I think the question to always ask yourself is, do you need 5 players to do it? And if one thing goes wrong, like we just see here happening, or the team is really well prepared for these B execs like we've seen from G2 now 2-3 rounds in a row, what's the contingency? Oh, there we go. Nice find out of Icy.
Started a lot of rounds on that angle, finally decides to pull the trigger. Rewarded for it.
Has been a little bit one note from MongolZ up on cap, but to be honest, it's actually worked most of the time. Faking a little B pressure, trying to disrupt the A setup this way. Kind of depends how sure they are that no one's come over to help out Hunter. Wow. Whoa, okay.
It's great timing on the spray, but obviously doesn't anticipate Electronic walking up like that.
They see that G2 are a little bit frantic right now. There will be one guy out here. He's not crossed to the window just yet.
Oh, they're really not looking for much here, G2, are they?
Yeah, no test at all. They said, okay, well, we've got to forfeit this.
Into the save. Easy decision. Good on Electronic to walk it out middle like that.
Yeah, Snax was, I mean, it's kind of a wild play, right? Snax is lucky to even get the 1 kill he does through the door. They're the ones who smoked left and right side and flashed through, and there was no one playing close by. They had the right to get out there. Would definitely, I mean, so far we've seen a lot of variety from G2 between Hunter and Snax, but the rest of the map, maybe because it's not really been tested that much, hasn't been changing. Of course, this kill from Icy helps out a lot.
Terrorists win.
Giving Hunter a taste of what Fame went through in the first half. Man, what's happened to Flawless, man? These last couple games.
Yeah, a few rough ones here in Bucharest.
Not getting any Flawless rounds now. Oh.
Here comes MongolZ. Yep, nice. You see that
perfect.
boost setting it up, right? First bullet rings out. Then he holds for MongolZ. So MongolZ gets red this round, and it's another 5v4 to Virtus.pro's favor.
Super good here for Virtus.pro, but yeah, MongolZ, it's the only thing he's done this entire half is push Cat.
Icy's starting to kick off some establishing advantages for Virtus.pro, which is good. We say that, you know, he finds his impact when his teammates are doing well, but for him to strike first, multiple rounds now, make everybody else's jobs all the easier. And with it being particularly on MongolZ, you know you approach Catwalk with a little more confidence. You know he's not going to be up on bricks. And Electronic, always happy to find timing and walk out through middle.
He's calling behind this, obviously. Man, a 3A lean, and they're going to get punished for it. Electronic has all the information. Just no movement this round at a G2 after that one opening pick. Snax alone with an op, and he has no idea how close they are.
Yeah, Electronic's done a really good job of just keeping the pressure up, but doing it silently. Look at this, the reward that he nets himself for walking for the last 30 seconds. One step ahead. Off of the op pick, Electronic just silently creeps into another round win here for VP.
Yeah, I think that's what they G2 get for going through the motions, but not.
2 bullets. One from the op of Icy, one from the AK of Electronic. 2 clicks on the mouse, and round 19 goes VP's way.
Could have been 3 right there. A little burst fire.
Mobs gets deleted. Really starting to lose track of the T's positions. Heavy God knows he's got a fight coming, and he'll fight every step of the way. Crazy thing is Heavy God just really hasn't had a lot of chance to shine in the CT
Playing
side.
long.
Stuck on long, and just not a lot of action coming his way. And for the player that alongside MongolZ was doing the best, if not better than MongolZ, how do you get Heavy God into this game if Virtus.pro won't give him rounds to win?
I mean, it's G2 who are not being dynamic, right?
Yes.
They could play a number of ways in these situations, but right now, the only thing that's happening is MongolZ is going off of Cat, and then if one person dies, no one moves, and they hope it's an A play, and that's it. I think G2 have to be willing to do a little more than that. Snack should be talking in this timeout.
But isn't. Can they change it up? Icy finds it in mid. MongolZ's gonna respond. You'll take that trade. Pistol for an op death, and okay, MongolZ confident enough to come out middle. You've got 2 players locked in on the right side. Mulb's down in lower tunnel, is gonna get burned out of his position. He's still hanging on to this. Electronic's gonna come clear him. And so that's a frag back. Heavy God and MongolZ both dead to the flit long hit, and VP are about to tie up map 1. Snax with a P250 gets the parting gift to just try to hold on. Bomb's still in spawn, so it'll take a little while longer, but this is G2 just trying off of the MongolZ op to stop VP in their tracks. It's not gonna happen. This game, on the second half, this T side from Virtus.pro is robbing back the match.
Yeah, this is even with 2 of their first ideas getting totally stopped. And to G2's credit, their B setups were the reason that happened. But beyond that, Virtus.pro have learned a little bit, found a gap inside of middle they've been constantly exploiting. G2 can't simply throw a smoke and then hope the round is over. They have to go a little bit deeper than that if they actually want to close out here on the CT side. But it won't come to them, I think, is the lesson they need to learn before it's too late. Otherwise, VP will walk away with this. And it's great we get Dust2 as a first map because this isn't a punish. Just one that both teams love.
Terrorists win.
We're 20 rounds in now. It's like G2 have just stopped getting kills.
Yeah. Just kind of stopped playing. You know, it's like I just picture somebody in their somebody in a G2 jersey just poking them with a stick.
It's the White Ninja Comics.
Come on,
yeah, do something.
Do something. Do something a little different. I mean, oh, again,
Ow.
Dude. Icy is starting to match MongolZ on this mid cross.
That's true. Comparing their damage will be interesting. That's huge impact.
But, you know, Heavy God is still just stuck on long. Look at the deaths racking up on Mobs, Hunter, and Snacks, the players who are getting the action. It's like, utilize him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they could be doing cat setups.
Do something.
They could be doing full long setups into pushes. They could be doing any number of things. They just aren't doing anything, really.
You just sat there shaking your hand at the sky like, damn it, why don't you give Heavy God a chance? It's like, you can move him. The same way MongolZ gets weaponized in the last round, this op moving around, he gets dinked here from this all-in cat hit of VP. Flash over the sight box. MongolZ still waiting for somebody to strike down. All of Virtus.pro arriving. And MongolZ still pressured by utility. He will continue to deliver its damage onto Fame. Mobs could be queued up for the swing. Flawless looks the wrong way. Aid lands here from Hunter. Icy gets dropped by Heavy God, finally giving him something to shoot at. He gets drawn off of the long play, flip put into the clutch. And Hunter's pressure remains high with the grenades from down in spawn. Heavy God backs up slightly. Hunter still on this corner, and it's all setting up Snacks to eventually arrive from Catwalk. Flick gets into the site, picks up that bomb soon. But as he does, Snacks finally hits the flank, and so G2 put a round on the board eventually. Comes by way of MongolZ, and who else? Heavy God, able to just push it over the line.
But like, what's the thing in common here? What's the red thread? It's that every single round they win is where they play 3A and VP finally try it. This round, they at least don't get the MongolZ playing on Cat, and that's what VP are thinking, okay, let's try something a little new. They have to respond to our mid-Bs eventually. And so here they have a slightly different setup, but yeah, it's still just him on A somewhere. And that's the round that G2 are looking for. So this has to be the wake-up call, right, for G2? Like, you were gifted that one. You probably get to sense a pattern now, but, like, what are the keys to victory? MongolZ gets his kills. Heavy God gets involved. But how do they create their own luck? And where do VP go now? Because they're definitely thinking. They're thinking about what to do next. They were expecting a response.
Go back to what's worked. Walk Electronic out mid. Yeah. Isolate duels on B. You know, this is a round as well. Icy got his damage in through the doorway. That B site was primed for the taking.
That's right.
Icy to the long contact.
Oh.
There's something for Heavy God to have to handle.
It's like, whoa, 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 relax. I was chilling here on long.
There's nothing actually behind it.
All right, while playing close to the door is already something a little bit different. Saw what MongolZ did pretty much solo there on the site for 10-15 seconds, dodged like 18 flashes, found a way to get a kill and some extra damage. So I wouldn't be uncomfortable leaving him more by himself. If we think about what the stronger side of the map is, it's Mobs and Heavy God and MongolZ on A. Do you always need 3? Wow, they full commit to this.
Right? Again, it's just like...
I mean, at least this...
is different?
No, at least this... It follows a pattern of what they've seen Virtus.pro be successful in, right? Like, if this is going to be the hard read, but Virtus.pro are thinking, man. They're trying not to do what they did before just because it worked.
Easy. Heavy God, they try to walk through smoke. They give him a bomb. Icy, he doesn't even come out. Fame's able to kill MongolZ. That puts pressure on both sides of Heavy God. But I mean, they just tried to walk through a smoke. Heavy God just deletes them. Snacks is going to hold off the back end for Heavy God. Wallbang's great for Icy. That almost got this push out.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like time's going to expire if anything else.
They have no time. They can't even go get the bomb from this
They walk
position.
away.
Man, oh, man. You said it. They just, why'd they walk through the smoke? They didn't need, they could definitely make,
okay.
What the?
He missed his incendiary to the door and burned Heavy God alive. He said, thanks for the hold, bud. G2 laugh it off. 2 map points secured.
This affects the money a little bit. There's only 2 alive here for G2. Not everyone's got a full buy to their name. I'm sure the drops will come in. Either way, I think G2 are just happy. They're happy for Heavy God, but he could have just ate a flash right here. That could have just been a normal flash. There's 3 people coming out. Icy has 2 flashes in the back. One could have popped this smoke. Why did they need to, this late into the round, just walk out long through a smoke?
I'm glad they're having fun.
Ooh.
No impact from Icy on the cross this time.
Very gracious of Icy. Doesn't shoot. He's been super consistent on the damage.
Back to more of the same by the looks of it, though.
Bulbs has to be careful because last time he smoked here, he didn't push out. They walked out, and they got to be that way. This time, he's actually got more attention on it.
Virtus.pro look to be inching their way back towards long doors.
Smoke's a little awkward. There's a huge gap on the side of it, but he's not going to be exposed, and they're trying to transpose into that same setup as last round. Trying to A-play again. This is great staging for Virtus.pro. They set up a good situation. Now, do they want to come in unannounced?
You think after the lesson of the last round, they'd maybe throw another layer, but
at least no smoke.
Just Icy posted on the corner. Again, the progress looks good, step by step, into the right positions. Icy already on that angle, so Heavy God's going to be feeling desperate. He can't hold it all off. 1 kill to his name. Into the A site go Virtus.pro. And a smoke for the cross. Chucking the bomb over, Flawless to punch in the digits. It's the same staging, but it goes that much better because it's not smoked in front of them.
Oh, it's 3v3 actually.
Rounds on.
With that kill, there is a retake potential now. Oh, are they worried about next round's money? Oh, Snack's just going to go up cat. They're assuming there's no one else here, or they don't have to worry about it. Do they have a smoke? No.
They've got a Molotov to maybe burn out Goose, and they've got a kit as needed. Molotov won't find anybody. Flawless, bit of chip damage. Fame as well, but time too far gone. If anything, maybe you burn a player out, and with that, the thread gets pulled on. Not the case. Virtus.pro go back to what looked like it was working last round. They improve on it, post the op up, make MongolZ step into Icy's scope. That's a critical op-v-op duel picked up here for Virtus.pro to push us to round 24.
Yeah, and I mean, great. It's great from Virtus.pro because, like, they did what they did last round, but this time better. And this time they got the same setup out of G2. For G2, it's same old, though. They're, instead of, even though they're leaning B this time around, and obviously they're leaning B now on the wrong rounds, they're doing it without information. They're just doing it off the read. And that's sometimes why Virtus.pro are taking extra time because, like, they don't see anything. Like, no one's actually looking for them. There are no pick plays happening. When's the last lower tunnels push that happened from G2? How many times have they taken top mid control? When have they gotten anyone to cross long doors on a play? They haven't tried any of this. So you almost want to say for Virtus.pro, like, they're taking the time because G2 are giving it to them, and at least now it's paying off for them. There's a real chance here that they get into overtime. G2 have got to be feeling insecure about the way that they've played the CT side so far because it's pretty much luck whether or not Virtus.pro end up jumping into, you know, a bad fight or not.
Could have been, but isn't. Insta 3B defense. again.
There's no op this time on A.
Staging process wastes no time. VP just moving through the motions as they have been. MongolZ, who we've seen floating around in middle and kind of leaning towards that B site to go into the hard dedicated triple stack. Well,
yeah, I mean, Electronic's not second-guessing himself now. He's going to A. There's two players here, one on an AK. No rotations, no push-up or tunnels. G2 have no info on mid whatsoever.
MongolZ drops the incendiary. There goes his smoke, but still 45 seconds on this clock. Still no movement from G2 off of that three-player dedicated B-site setup. Heavy God has seen nothing. Still over towards long. It is all on MongolZ. He doesn't have an op. He does, however, connect to Fame. And a ton of damage on the player in the backdrop.
Oh!
Double kill from MongolZ. It is him and him alone. And so 2 kills is about all you could ask for. Electronic will clear out that site. Bodies quickly up from CT spawn.
Oh, this plan is late.
They've played with the clock.
The molly let comes down on cap plan.
There remains more utility. Deep peek. You've got this bomb plant from Flit, but body's being taken down. Flit, he's burned off of the position. Final round of regulation, and Flit tries to peel off sight. Headshots elude him, and it's G2 off of a MongolZ double kill. How much can you ask of one man? And he delivers when you need to. Close, but a close.
Must be nice to have that superstar in your team, G2. You're not going to have him for much longer, allegedly, so just enjoy that.
Virtus.pro's map pick was not shy of options. We saw them try to move around on that T side. I saw VP working for a win, and unfortunately for them, it felt like you just stepped on the landmine that is MongolZ one too many times. Multiple multi-kills from that ramp is the only thing that put G2 into a win back on the first map of this series. Let's hope that their map pick looks like more of a comfort zone than that.
Yeah, that was, I think, the B site wasn't retakeable, but the A site was very retakeable. MongolZ could put up 2 kills on the final round, of course. That's going to make the biggest difference, op or not. So for G2 and VP, now it'll be Mirage. A slight victory, but some time to think about how they could improve. Definitely saw the evolution for Virtus.pro get better as time went on.
Yeah, Flamis gets there. Dual Berettas on the ramp falter. Flamis' second duel doesn't go his way. MongolZ to make the difference so far, and that'll free up the Heavy God bomb plant soon enough.
Flamis' highlight last game was getting exit kills,
dude,
unfortunately.
Hunter
which
from B. Doesn't take the shot, confirms that they are coming up from ticket. Fame has just moved forward. That was from the connector player, at least.
He has to walk fast.
I mean, Hunter's got to keep this pressure up. Snax is just going to keep his head down. Remember, bomb's not planted in all of this.
Oh, right.
It's not even a retake. Hunter delivers 2 headshots back, and Fame, who put this one up in the air, has now got another couple bodies to deal with. They've got to get this bomb back at some point, and it's right there for the taking for Snax. Hunter takes a wider angle. Dual Beretta swing. Fame sees this coming together. A reload and a 1v1. Him versus Snax. Dual Berettas from behind the triple box. Go! Out of it. Shut down with 1 shot.
What a shot, Fame.
Quad kill for Fame, and this is what we said about him back on Dust2. He's got the aim.
Yeah, he does, man. That's a great display of it. Snax is about to get away. They definitely fumbled it right here. They could have double swung him, forced him to fight both. But with very little room to work with, Fame finds it. Way to win this 1v2. And it's off the back of 2 great shots. Wow, did he get 4 that round?
Yes, sir. Quad kill.
Ooh.
Just right around the edge of walls as well, all 4 of them. Bending bullets for the VP CT pistol.
And even though there was no... Oh, there was a bomb plan, actually. Yeah, there was a bomb plan at that very end right there. That allows the buy to come through. Whose smoke was that? Did they double up the window, or was it the CT smoke?
2 T-smokes there. As per their color on the radar, identified now in CS2. Fun little feature. Thank you, Valve.
I think I'm colorblind.
A little bit. Woo! Deagle from downtown. MongolZ gets this catwalk attack rolling. Oh! Okay.
What?
You love that. Second deke shot out of MongolZ. Electronic's gonna try to control site here. Nice dink. Hunter damaged. Guns empty. USP not destined long for this one.
What?
Forced buy from G2 with Galil's, but it's the Deeg that features. And Icy collects the kill to Snacks. Double push off the market door. Closed in on by Hunter as he presses the Galil up against the doorway. Icy's already taken one player off site. Needs to collect the next two.
And does he want to give an op away? That's the question, too. It's not only a 1v2, but there's a big risk, and he's not finding anything. Now he needs to leave carefully because they're going to chase him down.
They're still thinking that he may have time.
Playing with fire, man.
He runs for it. Hunter sends some shots as he runs for the hills. This is VP to fumble the conversion.
Uh-oh, I mean, what? That shot was unbelievable out of MongolZ.
And we didn't even get to see the first one, but it came from catwalk and kills the guy bench. Pop, pop. I mean, the correction in the aim there.
Yeah.
I love those kinds of kills in Counter-Strike.
Because there's always the big correction and the big swing and then the small correction.
Yep.
But there he was pretty far off on his big swing and he still hit it. It was quite a putt, so to speak.
Quite a putt indeed. In the hole.
That's not what they yell. They yell timber.
Yeah, okay. Get left.
What's that?
That's what Stunna yelled at the PGA event.
Yeah. I was like, why does that sound so familiar but so wrong?
Off the flashbang, MongolZ doesn't give a damn. Oh, Electronic, though, locks him in with the frag grenade.
I was getting way too crowded right there. They heard a lot of things going on.
Yeah, a couple too many bodies, huh?
They said, screw it. We'll just try it again. Oh, late smoke on A ramp.
They plop that one down at 50 seconds.
Oh, boy.
Damn, really? You're going to walk through that, huh? No, what?
Oh, Thomas just...
What?
Well, I don't even know. What?
I mean, what does he see?
He's trying to half-dodge flashes. I can't believe he doesn't see that. So...
What was that?
When you play off the corner of a smoke like that, you leave enough room that they can get out, but they can't see. In that spot, it looked like he should have been able to, but...
Wait, I mean, was he looking at his radar at the same time?
I don't know. I have no idea. Looked visible from our perspective, that's for sure.
I mean, he hasn't been as sharp as we've seen in the past, but...
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a perspective thing, but it shouldn't be. That's a head-scratcher. He's in the right spot. He's got a 5.7. He blasts the guy out. He gets an AK from that. Things get slowed down, and then the rest of Virtus.pro can swoop in, but okay. That happened. And G2 will seize the opportunity to go up 2-1.
Yeah, they asked for a disaster to happen right there. They walking through a... Why are they walking through a smoke on an anti-eco like that? Like, they don't need to do that. You can try a little bit harder to just play it safely, especially after the start to that round, but... I guess they're lucky right there. Flawless takes a long blink.
Huh. That was weird. On to the next one. Ain't no rest for the wicked. Down into the underpass, Hunter and MongolZ trade out. You know, you're working with limited rifles here, and Icy's off didn't see anything top mid, so you were hoping the FAMAS would just win the round.
Yeah, this is a real big opening over towards B. It's going to be a little scary here for Virtus.pro to move around. And the punishment from MongolZ too. Oh, now they can just win this round however they want. It's only Electronic on a USP. So, not the most coming into this for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Icy's op is still inside connector, where you get 3 players from G2 walking over top of it. So if his job is to just get a gun back,
okay,
FAMAS and underpass or op in connector.
Do you think Electronic can get this gun back? That's what he's thinking about right now.
I think he could get the FAMAS.
Okay.
To get the op would be to be greedy. The kid don't miss.
The kid just does not miss.
And thank God for that. G2, that's what they think every time. He is the reason they won Dust2. Not because he was moving, but because they plopped him down on the ramp.
Yeah.
And he delivered when he had to. That's a funny position here between Heavy God and FaMAS. FaMAS somehow down underneath him.
FaMAS, man, what's going on? FaMAS.
Columbus.
Would love to hear from him, actually, because he does great interviews.
Well, we can ask him in the exit interview.
Oh, at this pace.
Too soon? Yes, because it's not over yet.
Yeah, but it's looking like it can get worse, for sure.
It's feeling like G2 are locking in early, but that doesn't mean their CT side will be great. Whoop. Into the smoke goes
missing
3
2 chances.
And Flick gets blasted away by MongolZ. So you know this pack of players is in here. That's no surprise. Fame boosted, gets a good angle, and the FaMAS cleans up.
Okay.
There we go. Flit and Fame support Electronic. That's a couple of assists. Heavy God trying to get the kill back to FaMAS yet again. They exchange fire. And a 2v4 here for G2 to try to figure out. But without bomb possession, you'd think Virtus.pro should just rack up this round win.
There's enough time to test it, but resources are slim. And now with Heavy God going down, what else have they got? Honestly, now he can't even save. He's got a flank coming in. Fame takes him out. Solid from Fame. 2 in this round. 1 off Cat. Electronic as well getting in front of that Cat Molly. G2 didn't even look behind them. But I think it's because there was a boost on Cat Bricks. It gave even better vision here for VP.
And so the half may begin. Trying to keep them out of underpass with just a bit of util. Uh-oh. Luckily for Snacks, able to cross back before the smoke expired, but he's denied his position at least.
Yeah, sometimes that's why you'll see people just smoke themselves in that spot so that the CTs have to believe that someone had crossed. But he keeps the smoke, at least, so he'll stay away. But you can see this is why Fame can stand out here. They know for sure no one's at the boxes.
Nice nade.
Oh, that's solid.
Perfect trajectory there for Flit.
And now they have to deal with the fact that there's full confidence here from the CTs. No one's crossed.
Connector player continues to drop utility. It was looking like m0NESY wanted to walk that op up, but opts not to. And then eventually Snacks is able to take his position. So Fame not on the bricks, but still boosted behind it.
Yeah, they're just recreating, both teams are just recreating last round. The catwalk up can be good here for Fame. His aim has been impeccable. Hunter, though, perfect clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Owns.
That was a perfect clear. But now, because they respected so many protocols from the CT side, it's real.
25 seconds,
V2
bomb
are
spawn.
super low on time, yeah.
Bomb now comes back top mid. Hunter has got to make sure he doesn't get caught trying to cross up here. Any kind of pressure from Connector could have been a problem. They put a smoke on it. He just jumps, crosses his toes, and hopes that he can sail into the B site, which is the case. Uncontested. MongolZ gets the kill back on FaMAS. We get the climb into the ladder room, and so this flank from Flick could be faster than G2 anticipate.
Yeah, this is good.
MongolZ back turn. It's a good climb up. It's a good layered defense in the window that allowed this to enable the potential for the retake. You've still got Heavy God back in T-spawn. I mean, how does he get into this picture? Hunter keeps his head down inside sight. Snacks finds the timing on the peek out of bench. Eventually that market player arrives, but by the time he gets there, Hunter's got himself a triple.
I mean, it's an excellent round from both teams here in terms of what they get out of it to start. The only thing missing was Virtus.pro recognizing like the empty B site. Maybe they could have rotated over, tried to cut off Hunter before the plant went down. But because of Hunter's whole round, they open up B, they get the kill on the bricks boost, and they get into B. No problem after that. No friction on the rest of it. So there was a point here where they're being too gracious to Virtus.pro. They didn't smoke at the molly top mid. They didn't put any pressure really quickly early on into the round to get into connector control, anything like that. And time got low, but they found the option. Now very dangerous round here for Virtus.pro. They invest a lot. They've got obviously the safe guns.
Spent a lot of presence for G2 down in underpass. Don't surprise me that they've got bodies on it. They don't get Icy off the spray, so he's gonna have to start dropping util, and they can keep this pressure up. Hell, they'll expose him. Icy's still alive. Unbelievable.
Wow, do they still think he's here?
That nade just goes too deep. They're gonna hear the run into connector. Get out of my way, says Icy. Move it, Flit.
And yeah, Snacks actually doesn't spam them on the way back.
And then that's because he's going to try to walk up through the smoke. He's going to try to play the long con.
That's insane.
He chases this like a real hunter.
No way.
Plat now spotted. Flawless climbing down the ladder. Flit dead. And that's all with Icy still on minimal HP. And he already spotted Flawless. Nowhere to run here for Flawless. Heavy God comes out of the ramp. I like this move from Snacks.
It was actually, he was playing 4D chess right there. Instead of spamming the smoke, he just concealed his presence entirely, turned it into a round win off that smoke push. That was a genius or madness moment as they peeled back out of connector, but he was totally right about the way that they would transform that situation. So it's a big find here and a very uncomfortable spot for Virtus.pro. They're actually lucky that they can still save this op. Somehow, after all this, Icy is still alive. Which is key because, yeah, money's low, man. Electronic is saving a 5-7 right now.
Felt like Flit wanted Icy to die with the way he was blocking him in connector.
He's like, "Ooh, can't get by, can't get by."
What you running from? What you running from?
You're never gonna grow up if you don't fight.
And they had a reason to be scared. Snacks roguelike in the connector chase. And that's G2 5th T round win in 7 played. Who do you think chews their fingers more, Electronic or Liege?
Yeah, they're both two of the best chewers. Two of the best riflers of all time, and they both chew their fingers a lot, actually. I might start.
Don't. It's addicting. There we go. Snacks talking.
Yeah, that's good.
He said, "You guys should have seen it. I just followed them up connector."
He's talking about
you know, I knew Icy was low, so I just thought I could follow behind them, dude. And then I saw Flawless, and I ignored him. No. Got the kill in the window, and okay, next round. What's up?
That would be fun. That would be hilarious.
Honestly, it's a play worth talking about. You should be proud of that one.
You had to be there. Trust me.
Round-winning move out of Snacks.
Oof.
Electronic, that saved 5-7.
This doesn't work unless they, yeah, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I mean, I was gonna say unless they swing behind it or something, but like you can't hide yourself there.
Listen, I love that you were looking for the if, the how, but no, we end up in reality. It just doesn't work. But I was looking up. Yeah. God didn't hear your prayers, Electronic.
Why hath doth made me miss the cat jump again?
Damn you, Monacy.
That's the thing about that spot. You don't even need good awareness to clear it. You
just a foot sticking out.
Yeah, you just see it every time.
As long as you've got 2 eyes.
Yeah.
Hell, even one. Or a good nose.
Cleanup.
6-2 lead for G2 off of that one. Your 5-7 will do nothing in the face of a G2 running rampant now on the attack here of their map pick.
The real, obviously, you know, Electronic's not going to win his fight versus Underpass. If they didn't go Underpass and they tried to go into Connector, that's one of the best ways to fight someone going into Connector. So that's obviously the situation where it looks the worst. But an option. Honestly, sees a head crossing. They're just going to go. They want to go right into this A setup. Nothing spotted top mid. They're still mildly worried about the B play, but the full smokes are coming in. 3 smoke exec.
Here's MongolZ coming at it again.
They blew up the top stair smoke, but no one's there.
MongolZ finds it. Heavy God connects his over towards Ticket. And in this sea of smoke grenades, it may have been a Virtus.pro first blood, but it's MongolZ once again finding success here. He entered this round 5-1 in opening duels. 5 of the 7 opening duels for G2 through this half, all his. And so quick reaction.
They're going for this. It is a 3v3, and the flash is extremely good.
That's what Electronic was hoping for. MongolZ, though, not going to just sit back on his hands. Gets active. Denies fame. Heavy God still yet to activate from backside. Could just damn well push this over the line. They're going to have to find him. And how they do it. Bomb right here in front of him. Electronic's going to defuse for a few seconds. Gets executed. Heavy God wins it. And the bomb will pop as G2 takes 7. Clearing Flit as well. No op saved in this one.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see from Heavy God in that spot. He's just thinking purely about the clock. And he knew he had that round 1 unless they hard clear him. VP had to hope and pray their toes were crossed in that situation that he was on some kind of flank, but no, he won't make it elaborate. G2 hit 7 rounds off of this. MongolZ with the key entry to triple through that smoke. It's a B default on this round as well. Bombs up there.
Yeah, Virtus.pro keep trying different looks at middle, trying to give the responsibility to different players who are working with different pieces, and nothing's able to hold back G2 at the moment. You know, Fame, somebody who we've seen play off Cat on the receiving end of 5 opening deaths. And unfortunately, all those different looks have not borne fruit for Virtus.pro.
They want to take it back to A. They didn't have a lurker here. There's one pushed up in Palace. That's Flawless. He's got the deagle. About it, though. You come into the site late, you molly Palace. If you don't go through, if you only go through Connector and Ramp, that's simple as. Other CTs are worried about B. Good call here for G2.
Honestly, sticking around. Here's a stampede of players out middle. Everybody dies instantly. The headshots just flowing at this point here from G2. And Virtus.pro have yet to really offer up much of a fight.
Yeah, they're in the rhythm. This game did have some punishable moments, but time's running out here. It's been a solid half overall from G2.
Dude, between MongolZ and MongolZ, there's just no chance to really catch your breath.
Yeah.
On top of that, Hunter and Snacks having strong games as well. There's no weak link for G2 so far. Although I remember Dust2 where everything felt flawless, and then we switched to the CT side and VP kicked it up a notch. So we'd have to still just sit back and watch. This is a tale of 2 halves, as always. Don't turn off your television sets just yet. Stay locked in right here. You're watching PGL Bucharest 2025.
Just those antennas. Get yourself some nachos and take a seat.
Modesty shows mercy. Lets Flit get away. Sends him running. Heavy God emerges out on the A site.
Oh.
Again, dude, it's just pretty much insta-kills from most of the G2 camp. Oh, Flawless returns the favor. He didn't hear that? Snacks is just in the bomb site. Smoke Grenade makes this one weird. It's drawing 2 players' attention between the jungle and Flawless in sight. He's going to jump up, execute Snacks from behind. We're going to get 3 players of G2 to just try to charge headstrong into the B site. Electronic with a chance to stop them, supported by Fame off Catwalk. This one looks a little flat until Modesty gets into the action. 40 seconds, bomb on his back, and a highlight reel to fill. Electronic takes that as an invitation, just puts himself inside of the smoke. Modesty wraps back sight. And he's just so cyclopsed that he's not able to find contact. The flank comes through, and Virtus.pro a 3rd round for the road.
Snacks was not ready for someone to be there, rushing him on CT. Flawless understood they need to get rid of this problem right away. And you can see Peacekeeper the Spirit still high here. Obviously, not having the best tournament so far, but we know the energy that he brings to this roster. So it won't be a total shutout here in this first half from G2. But it can still be pretty bad. Fast underpass play, fast mid control overall here from the T side. Fame wants to fight it. He's getting some damage off, but he's got to be careful.
He's just died an uncomfortable amount of times. Oh, with the nades out.
And fair play, G2. They haven't gone into window that often.
They've really just felt so ready to go until that one. Call that the Flawless.
What a trade.
Failed to react fast enough. Icy drops util damage on the slowly but surely approaching G2. Ooh!
That's a find.
A bomb.
Oh.
It's a bait.
And Mozzie's like, yeah, I'm going to be extremely aware right now.
How is he going to pull this off? He's being very cautious about it, playing as if there is a player on top of it. Doesn't know that, but should just clear it. And of course, under pressure up close, Modesty doesn't give a damn. So consistent throughout this series. His 9th kill of the half. It is MongolZ who continues to tear it up more than anybody else. Ooh, and he's going to end it.
And MongolZ got some really key trades in some moments that could have gone Virtus.pro's way. That couple of trades through smoke here. This one on connector is just pure intuition. The one on triple, he knows that someone's fighting, goes in for the spam. You got to trust yourself for sure. Some of the best parts about Virtus.pro's Dust2 were the ideas, I guess. You know, towards the end, it feel like they were beating G2 on ideas, but they didn't have the firepower, and that's where it keeps coming back to.
Yes, same thing on Dust2, right?
And, yeah, it's like...
That was more so a criticism of G2's lack of CT variance.
Yeah.
But still, you can call all you want. When when Fame is ending the half 0-5 and opening duels, you just know mid's not been held well. And the follow-throughs from G2 in the first half, it was hard to kind of put your finger on them as to where they'd end up. And you had a few zany moments as well, like Snacks just dropping out of Palace to try to keep a distraction up.
At the end of the day, they just had way better individuals. Like,
yes, sir.
MongolZ's Deagle round as well on B.
Yes, sir.
Hunter's round where he got 3 kills on the way to B. Just where are those moments for Virtus.pro, unfortunately, is the question.
MongolZ takes over the first half of the second map. Pistol shots elude him here as the follow-through from Virtus.pro's inbound. Flawless looking for a fast kill. Fire spreading, but Heavy God's found Sanctuary. MongolZ just sideline split. Flawless gets blindsided as well because Heavy God was covered in that corner. And so 5 versus 3 for a second pistol. But Icy's P250 tends to find its targets. It will for one. You've got the sandwich player locked in. You've got Fame over towards Ticket. So Icy tries to draw more attention, but now MongolZ just refuses to miss. Electronic gets softened up by the frag grenade. Here comes this whole pack of players. Electronic, he's got the sandwich going. Fame, oh, he's trying, but they just swarm forward on him from all directions. G2 in with a second pistol, and they're going to jump on that bomb with time. Double digits G2 early.
I mean, that what kind of spells?
Or not.
They got it. They got it.
Okay.
Oh, they got it. That was close. Oh, that one kind of spells disaster. Man, MongolZ just getting nicer and nicer by the round. Every kill he gets more impressive than the last. And unfortunately, we are so used to seeing Icy deliver 2 frags with his gun, with his P250 on pistol rounds no matter what. And even he can't stand to MongolZ at the moment.
So rocky road ahead for Virtus.pro unless they can pull off a force buy. Gotta rock this boat early. G2 just riding over the waves with no care in the world.
Got sea salt in their hair.
Vibing like some California girls.
Take the doors off the Jeep. Talking like Maui Snake.
They'll be giving over some space and connector. I mean, this is a good position to try to swarm an A site from. m0NESY just saw something he didn't like, and Heavy God just gets exposed to the Tech 9. Fame's Galil strikes one down. Line up on connector.
Fame!
That's what we're looking for, right? The headshots that Fame was not able to always offer through that first half connects a couple. And so, as I said, gotta rock this boat early. G2's momentum capsizes.
Wait, you saw Hunter, no?
No. Now he will.
What the?
Fame thinks he left. Sucker.
Acting a fool. Come on, Hunter knows where you're coming in from.
Another one.
Time to defuse.
There we go.
Okay.
Icy pushes it over the line. He is 4 and 8 off that kill.
And they hunted that down. They got 1 saving here on this round for VP.
Shout out Fame one time.
Ooh, Snack Spies an M4. They're going for an investment. They sense the opportunity after those exit frags. Even though they don't have the most money in the world, how many other people will invest? Who's coming with me? Definitely want to get that M4 on MongolZ, I think.
Nah, Snacks, because you can hang on to it.
On MongolZ, though.
Snacks, I think.
No, I could just... What about this time? Just MongolZ, maybe.
MongolZ, you mean the guy with the armor?
No, I mean, yeah, the guy with the 130 ADR.
You know, Snacks... Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, all right. Whew.
Hey, man, I felt it.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in yourself, how will anybody ever believe in you?
As a wise man once said, nothing beats reality. Sugar Man.
So, Snacks P250. Kevlar for the rest of the crew. And Virtus.pro, who have Fame to thank for this chance on round 15. Again, man, CT side was flawed back on Dust2. You know, it didn't feel like G2 were able to adapt. They were just a species good enough to survive, like an alligator.
Like useless today, but kind of scary anyway.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I like that.
You know?
Good analogy. Yeah, okay.
If Virtus.pro walk into your swamp, yeah, they're going to get their legs chewed off.
Right. They went into their arena. That was the problem.
You know, but I've never seen an alligator. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
You had it, though. You had it.
5-7 into the ramp. Denied. Fame is not going to waste our time here. He is going to keep the headshots rolling. And to hell with our time, it's just the opportunity. Virtus.pro.
This was their swamp, and MongolZ does not want to jump into there.
Yeah. Just saying, alligators were way more intimidating until we invented dynamite.
Why'd they live so long again? They just because they were underwater for the comet?
I just think they're an incredible predator.
Okay.
Their habitat has been mostly unaffected for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The Everglades in Florida.
Yeah.
Just a prime place to be. Very swampy.
Literally a swamp.
Yep. Literally an Everglade.
Everglady.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they
aren't VP ever glad that G2 decided to stack B this round. MongolZ at least keeps things good. Yeah. Can't approach him. No
right now, though, if the game is survival,
okay.
Would you rather be an alligator or a cockroach?
I would, in a game of survival, I think an alligator, right? Or no, is that the wrong answer?
I don't know, but
oh, okay.
Virtus.pro crawling under the floorboards.
I want to be whatever MongolZ is.
A goat, or maybe one day
a falcon. Oh.
Okay. Oh, hey, ooh, hey.
I thought that's what you were going for.
Not yet. Hey. MongolZ M4 on the ramp here. Just the pistols, but pistols enough to line up. That's what Icy's waiting for. A succulent meal at the top of that ramp as the two players line up for him. We've got a cat player coming through, but it's Snacks with a USP, so you can't have high expectations. MongolZ moving to put the scope up on jungle, gets popped by Fame, and Virtus.pro closing this gap very quickly.
Yeah, that would be a couple of ecos, but yeah, doing good.
Should have converted your pistol.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true, but Fame had something to say about it, man. That was a legit Galil play from him. The close calls are still expensive.
Gonna have a little tech issue here. I see a player has dropped out of the server. Production, queue up the Dwarf Core. Please and thank you.
Thank you for not playing it.
Well, now don't I look like a fool?
You look like a dwarf.
I'm 6 foot.
Are dwarfs
What?
not taken seriously? Like in like, you know.
What are we talking?
Like
talking
Gimli,
about
for
Tolkien's
example.
universe?
I mean, Gimli, for example, he kind of plays the heel, but he also is kind of serious.
Yeah. The thing with dwarves is that they used to have this impeccable kingdom, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was the kingdom of Durin. I could be wrong, but I think I'm correct with that one.
Okay.
And I think that like many things, you know, I think we as land dwellers look down on things that live underground.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
rats, moles,
Right.
bugs,
Doug
earthworms,
trios.
Doug trios.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I do think dwarves get a bad rep because they were also very isolationist in the world of Tolkien. They're not a very trustworthy person, and I suppose I would also not be trustworthy if I had gems and emeralds and gold.
Trusting or trustworthy?
Trusting, excuse me.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would not be very trusting.
Fair enough.
You know, they've got a lot to lose, the dwarves.
Okay.
And they make great music, but I guess we're not allowed to listen to
So
it.
they're rich and they have great music. Gotcha. Learn more about them today.
Here we go. Back to the land of man, where competition reigns supreme. Nothing like the egos of human beings clashing head to head. Waited some time to get this buyback, G2. Mid smokes galore from VP, connector, and window for the time being. Mob's going to take a look at that. We've got Heavy God in the sight, FAMAS in hand, and m0NESY behind him. And remember how Dust2 went down. Virtus.pro showed nice approach on the T side, but they ran into m0NESY one too many times, and he was able to multi-kill just enough to close that map out 13-11. So when you look at this A site with a rotate kind of preoccupied towards mid, is it going to happen again? Heavy God, ooh, him and Mobs drop, so it's got to be all m0NESY, and he's on 16 health, so odds are against him. Hunter comes out from the market door. This A site's gone. VP are making this a game again.
I think you pointed out perfectly. Like looking back to Dust2, G2 barely skated by on that because of great, site holds ultimately, but they didn't take the rounds into their own control. I think we look, I don't know who is calling CT sides, if Hunter is helping out at all, but if he's not, I feel like he could contribute a ton because his pistol setups are a good example of what you should do on rounds like this, where you don't have that much utility. Way more active spots, places that you can trade early, closer to choke points when execs come in. Because Virtus.pro are going to go for a standard exec like that, and it's 2v5 on the site, then like they're going to win trades more often than not, and eventually come back into this game. But even after that break, G2 come in low utility and spread the map. They basically had a low chance of winning on both sites and didn't move. The other thing that they could do is try to take. It's the door core.
Thank you. Small note, Icy had to rebuy an op. He died to the bomb with the op in Palace.
Awkward.
For the record. Completely alone, in Palace. No CTs around him.
That's expensive, but they can afford it.
Electronic will be taking note of that.
Kaiser! I feel like I'm in a chain gang. Serving my sentence.
Rockin' stone, brother. Well,
yeah. So here's another round. So here's another round where it's low utility, mixed by. Try to find a setup where they're playing some closer positions or taking control of the map really early so that you can rotate and overstack. There needs to be some either long-term aim coming into the early round, like this upper B push. That's what we were missing last round. There is always a gap. Oh, they cleared it, so I don't think Snax is going to want to stay here now. This does allow them to go back and stack, but then the value of it expires if he pulls out as well. They'll have to still have 2 and B. And now they've just got a standard map. So if they all had auto snipers, these would be great spots.
Sure.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah, they don't. Two Deagles inside connector. At least for their sake, Flit's playing Palace very passive, so it doesn't look like they're going to find that vacant A site yet.
They do have an idea to retake mid.
Spam out a m0NESY. He'll try to get a quick look over towards Palace. Ooh, Electronic just got tagged up hard. Fame sitting bottom middle's the first casualty, so eventually G2 do make a move. They clear out bottom mid, killing one in the process. That offers a weapon over. And now VP gonna jump into the A site while they still can. m0NESY rotates over towards Ticket. Is he going to be enough to stop it again? Op trained in on him. Mobs finds his headshot. m0NESY given a gift as Flit just jumps haphazardly out from Palace. And so Virtus.pro down to 7 seconds.
No time.
Bomb will not be planted. Snax decides not to follow through with the flank. That could have killed players after time.
I mean, they are getting flanked.
Icy's no guarantee, and I mean, he already lost the op last round. Now he's going to lose a second and die after time.
Ooh, okay, but you know what?
There it is.
Yeah, forced by G2. It's
There's
actually
VP.
Yeah, there's VP. But this is actually a situation where they could have planted. They did have enough time to get there. But G2, at least, they came forward with the idea to retake mid. If they didn't do that, then it would have just been an A play that ends in disaster. Well, it ends in disaster because G2 don't have great guns to work with, but it's their ideas that win here. So Early tactic to clear out B's great, coming back to mid. They kept moving the round forward with their weaker guns, made VP very uncomfortable. And they tell VP, you can't move that slowly. We're going to make you pay for it.
Snacks who kind of pulled the trigger that round, right? MP9 jumping down into the fight. It was all so sudden. Flawless locked in on this. He has been a shell of himself. But definitely not his worst map in Bucharest. Still just waiting for somebody to make that move down the ramp. Doesn't happen. We get this third player from G2 leaning over to the B site in the moment.
Key spot is MongolZ once again, who's been the star here for G2. If they don't test this, like this is when, yeah, they move too slowly, the smoke becomes just really annoying here.
40 seconds. Still, there's no hold on middle. They've got three players up inside the B site as if there's something coming. You're going to start to now scramble back, but you've already got Fame up inside connector. How squeezed do you feel if you're the G2 players?
They're so confused, actually. They're thinking it's B or there's a lurk or something. They don't understand what's happening.
He's going to try to reposition.
They still haven't gone anywhere.
And Virtus.pro still haven't made their move. They've got just enough utility to make it happen.
15 seconds, go!
Finally starting to make steps happen. We've got a little contact out from Palace. They're worried about under Balk, and they should be. Heavy God, he gets tethered off with Hunter, who drops Flawless and the bomb. Now they're going to desperately plant inside of a smoke, and it doesn't get stopped. So post plant secured. Just enough time. VP squeeze it, and there's their 8th secured.
Holy smokes! I mean, I don't even blame G2 for being confused right there. Like nothing was happening at all. 1 second to spare, and they put that bomb down. Buyback comes again. I think the last round should have been the reminder to G2 they needed to, or to VP they needed to speed up. They try it again. They almost lose in the exact same way with the bomb getting dropped in the middle of the site. They're not going to stage this full comeback with rounds like that. It's time to start playing like they mean it.
A win's a win, but it's just starting to feel like G2 might try to just kind of like fall over into the semifinals. You know, limp across the line.
That's kind of what happened on Dust 2.
Yes, it is. I'll go one further. I'll say that's actually what happened back in Lisbon as well to secure playoffs.
Right, right.
You know? A result's a result, but the inspiration behind the result, I don't even think they can see. But if Virtus.pro want to play dangerous games, next thing you know, G2 will trip over the finish line here. 2 rounds away on the CT side. And the more frustrating the round results become, the more I think m0NESY wants to be unleashed. And luckily for G2, the buy is healthy here in round 20. So he takes that op out middle, sees nothing for the time being. And always cautious of the B hit. We saw that last round, right? 3 bodies allocated to the site. Well, now Virtus.pro will start to send some forces in that direction. Flawless dropping utility to keep the attention of 2 players on Cat. MongolZ opts to play inside connector. And Electronic, trying to run up towards Catwalk, would be put between MongolZ and Hunter. He burns down to 60 before giving up his angle. Hunter, dangerous game here, dropping smokes in front of him. And at 50 seconds, we've got VP 3 players strong in middle. Taking over top con as well, goes Fame into the corner.
They've won a good amount of space. They've just taken a long time to do it, so they're actually still in a little bit of time trouble potentially if they don't convert from this position. Bombs up on Cat.
Options remain open.
They have a lurker on A, which means they should be trying to split in this direction. The push out into B will definitely tell G2 with certainty where it's going to end up. And they just want one more kill so badly, but they can't get it.
MongolZ finds his, 2 players crossbench. Heavy God drops utility, hangs on to Ticket.
The bomb.
Could be G2 to queue up a retake. Icy's gonna go for the plant. They're hoping the catwalk fight doesn't come. Spam connects. Bomb down at 10 seconds. Hunter finds the headshot. Flawless is now desperate to get it in. Jungle pressure comes through. Play dangerous games, and you will pay the price. VP bank on Flit to post a 1v5. Back turned, I don't think so. G2 clamped down on an A-site retake at its 4 map and match points.
Yeah, that round had its merits for VP with taking over as far as window. It's just that it took them till 45 seconds to get to that point. I think you could have recreated that position around a minute 15, giving yourself time to walk up into the site, approach things more carefully, and maybe have a little bit more utility. But these fights, I think this round is more of a round that G2 are looking for. And yeah, not a single kill here for Virtus.pro. It's not going to be the most exciting exit if it's anything like the last couple here for Virtus.pro. At least Icy can afford his op this time around. The idea looked better last round.
Fame and Flit onto the ramp early, bomb towards top mid. There's been a gap from G2 on A, definitely in terms of that forward defense. Electronic finds him, Snacks just up there on the van.
Ooh, instant molly in response. They won't move off of this. Fame, though, he's in a great spot. How is he not going to get this kill?
Malb's done for, Heavy God dies right with him, just walks out that ramp. It is a red carpet for Virtus.pro here in the 21st round.
Wow, 2 players making pick plays. What a change of pace here from Virtus.pro.
Doesn't it look good on them?
I mean, yeah.
Right? That's the crazy thing. Like, we saw this kind of tempo more often out of VP when the Electronic leadership first took over.
Also, it's like Electronic himself, like just himself as a player. Why not? I've always looked at Fame as well. It's like, oh, that's a miss. Like, what player on this team is like, yeah, let's slow it down? Who individually is even like that? Like, Flamus got cut from GamerLegion because he rushed too much.
Yes. Fame has ridiculous
Use that to your advantage, guys.
Electronic is just as aggressive, and then you get one of these rounds. Like, that's why you catch Snacks off guard, because they've almost been lulled into falling asleep.
Yeah, they were fully conditioned. They expected nothing to happen for past a minute.
Not to mention that peak's in the fire.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know. Just that's the way it came out.
It was cool, though, actually. Truffle.
So VP remind us of what they can do, and it's a choice. It's a choice.
Always remember, don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't have options.
Every single day you wake up, you can change Virtus.pro. You can be aggressive, and it looks good on you. You know, it's like a best friend reinforcing you as you just doubt yourself. We want to see Virtus.pro weaponize the talent, the aim. The rawness of Counter-Strike looks good on you, and it is enough to keep this quarterfinal going. Straight up duels and unexpected timings. You know, maybe coupling it with conditioning and a slower pace is a good idea, but you gotta change it up. And when you do, you extend play.
They're so uncomfortable with it, though. You see they're going back to old habits already. They put a little B pressure here, but so little happens in the mid round. They're just, G2 get to sit and wait and collect information. This time, it's not just an A lurker on the ramp. There's one in Palace as well as the bomb comes back into what will be an exec. Heavy God is a loose piece. Player playing within smokes here with his MP9. MongolZ back on the ramp. He's watching this.
Fame goes through it. Missed shot out of MongolZ. Heavy God. Ooh, the fire doesn't find him. And his MP9 collects the first one. Just enough of a distraction. He even gets a second. How is Heavy God still alive? Thriving! What? An MP9 to close it. You tiptoe your way into A site. And he just collects the quad. Done. Here are Virtus.pro. G2 may have MongolZ muzzled, but they'll just let the Counter-Strike do the talking.
Beautifully done from Heavy Guard, beautifully done from Scrawny and Launders, making that last match entertaining, and beautifully done from G2